A young girl, named Maya, lives in harmony with nature, spending most of her days exploring the woods, rivers, and prairies surrounding her village. She possesses a special gift, the ability to communicate with plants and trees, hearing their whispers in the wind. Maya's connection to nature deepens when she discovers an ancient cottonwood tree, its leaves whispering secrets and wisdom to her. The tree, a revered spiritual being in their culture, becomes Maya's mentor and guide. As Maya learns from the cottonwood, she uncovers a hidden truth about her family's past and their connection to the land. She must use her gifts to restore balance and harmony to the natural world, threatened by the actions of outsiders who disrespect the land and its spirits. Maya sat beneath the sprawling branches of the ancient cottonwood, its leaves rustling softly in the breeze. She closed her eyes, breathing in the sweet scent of the tree's bark and the earthy smell of the riverbank. The warm sun on her face and the gentle hum of insects lulled her into a peaceful state, allowing her to listen to the whispers of the leaves. "Maya, granddaughter of the wind," the leaves whispered, "we have secrets to share with you. Secrets of the land, of your people, and of your own heart." Maya's eyes fluttered open, and she smiled, knowing the cottonwood was speaking to her. She had always felt a deep connection to nature, and the tree's whispers were a reminder of her special gift. Maya sat cross-legged on the soft earth, her dark hair tied back in a ponytail, revealing her heart-shaped face and bright brown eyes. She wore a simple deerskin dress, adorned with intricate beadwork, and her feet were bare, connecting her to the land. The cottonwood's branches swayed above her, casting dappled shadows on the ground. "Tell me, grandmother tree," Maya said, using the affectionate term for the cottonwood, "what secrets do you hold today?" The leaves rustled, releasing a soft sigh. "Maya, the balance of nature is shifting. The winds are changing, and the animals are restless. What can I do, grandmother?" Maya asked, feeling a surge of determination. The leaves whispered again, "Seek the wisdom of the ancient ones, Maya, listen to the stories of your people, and remember the ways of your ancestors. The answers lie within the land, the spirits, and your own heart." Maya nodded, knowing she had a journey ahead of her. She would need to seek guidance from her elders, learn from the natural world, and trust her own instincts to restore balance and harmony to the land. Maya spent the next few days seeking wisdom from her elders. She sat at the feet of her grandmother, Gray Deer, listening to stories of their ancestors' bravery and ingenuity. She visited the village's respected spiritual leader, Rising Sun, who taught her about the intricate web of life and the importance of respecting all living beings. As Maya learned, she began to realize that the outsiders' actions were not just harming the land, but also her people's way of life. They were a nomadic tribe, following the buffalo herds and living in harmony with the seasons. But with the outsiders' fences, farms, and settlements, their traditional paths were being blocked. One evening, as the sun set over the prairie, Maya walked to the nearby river, seeking solace in its gentle flow. She closed her eyes, feeling the breeze carry the whispers of the cottonwood and the ancient ones. Suddenly, a soft nuzzling against her hand broke her reverie. Maya opened her eyes to find a fawn, its coat still spotted, gazing up at her with large brown eyes. The fawn's mother, a gentle doe, stood nearby, watching Maya with a quiet trust. Maya smiled, feeling a deep connection to the creatures. She knew that the animals were trying to tell her something, to guide her on her journey. "What wisdom do you bring me, little one?" Maya asked the fawn, her voice barely above a whisper. The fawn nuzzled her hand again, and Maya felt a surge of understanding. She knew that she had to take action, to find a way to restore balance and harmony to the land and her people's lives. Maya spent the next few days observing the animals, learning from their behavior and listening to their whispers. She noticed that the birds were flying different routes, avoiding the areas where the outsiders had built their structures. She saw that the rabbits were hesitating to venture out of their burrows, sensing the danger that lurked nearby. One night, under the light of a full moon, Maya decided to take action. She gathered a small group of trusted friends, including her cousin, Dakota, and together they set out to dismantle the outsiders' fences and restore the natural flow of the land. As they worked, the animals watched from a distance, their eyes shining in the moonlight. Maya felt their presence, their encouragement, and their guidance. She knew that she was not alone in this struggle. But just as they were making progress, a group of outsiders appeared, their faces angry and threatening. Maya stood tall, her heart pounding in her chest, and began to speak. "We mean no harm," she said. "We only want to restore the balance of nature, to live in harmony with the land and its creatures." The outsiders sneered, their leader spitting on the ground. "You're just a bunch of savages," he said. "We're the ones who know how to properly use this land." Maya felt a surge of anger, but she kept her calm. She knew that violence would only lead to more suffering. Instead, she reached out with her heart, trying to connect with the outsiders, to make them see the world from her perspective. And then, something miraculous happened. A herd of buffalo appeared on the horizon, their shaggy coats glistening in the moonlight. They moved towards the outsiders, their eyes fixed on them, and the men backed away, frightened. The buffalo surrounded Maya and her friends, protecting them, and the outsiders retreated, their plans foiled. The buffalo lingered, their presence a reminder of the power and wisdom of the natural world. Maya and her friends thanked them, offering prayers and gifts of tobacco and sage. As the night wore on, Maya felt a sense of hope and renewal. She knew that the struggle was far from over, but she also knew that she was not alone. The animals, the land, and her people were all connected, and together they could overcome any obstacle. The next morning, Maya and her friends returned to their village, exhausted but triumphant. They were greeted as heroes, their story told and retold around the fires. But Maya knew that the real work was just beginning. She spent the next few weeks meeting with her people, sharing her vision of a restored balance between humans and nature. She worked with the elders to develop a plan, one that would honor their traditions while also addressing the challenges of the modern world. And then, just as progress was being made, a devastating blow struck. A harsh winter swept in, bringing with it bitter cold and scarce food. The buffalo herd struggled to find sustenance, and Maya's people suffered. In the midst of this hardship, Maya's grandmother, Gray Deer, fell ill. Maya nursed her, using all her knowledge of herbs and healing, but Gray Deer's condition worsened. One night, as the snow swirled outside, Gray Deer called Maya to her side. "My child," she whispered, "I am proud of the woman you have become. Remember the stories, remember the land, and always listen to the whispers of the animals." With those final words, Gray Deer passed on, leaving Maya heartbroken but determined to carry on her legacy. Maya mourned her grandmother's passing, but she knew she couldn't let grief consume her. She had to keep moving forward, for the sake of her people and the land. With newfound determination, Maya continued her work, using her knowledge and skills to help her community survive the harsh winter. She organized hunting parties, led ceremonies to honor the spirits, and worked with the elders to develop new strategies for adapting to the changing world. As the winter slowly receded, Maya's people began to thrive once more. The buffalo herds rebounded, and the land regained its vibrancy. Maya's leadership and vision had helped her community navigate the darkest of times. One day, as Maya walked through the village, she noticed a young girl watching her with wide eyes. The girl reminded Maya of herself, full of wonder and curiosity about the world. Maya smiled, feeling a sense of connection to this next generation. She knew that she had to share her story, to pass on the wisdom and knowledge she had gained from her grandmother and the land. And so, Maya began to teach the girl, sharing tales of the ancient ones, the animals, and the secrets of the natural world. As she spoke, Maya felt Grey Deer's presence, guiding her and smiling upon her. The girl listened with rapt attention, and Maya saw in her a spark of hope, a reminder that the future was bright and full of promise. As the seasons passed, Maya's student, whom she had named Akira, grew in wisdom and understanding. Akira spent hours learning from Maya, listening to her stories, and practicing the traditional ways. One day, Akira approached Maya with a curious expression. "Maya, I've been having these dreams," she said. "Dreams of the animals, of the land, and of a great change coming." Maya's heart skipped a beat. She recognized the look in Akira's eyes, the same look she had seen in her own reflection many years ago. "Akira, you are being called," Maya said, her voice filled with excitement. "The spirits are speaking to you, just as they spoke to me." Akira's eyes widened. "What does it mean?" Maya smiled. "It means you have a crucial role to play in the future of our people. You must listen to the whispers of the animals, and trust your own heart." And so, Akira embarked on her own journey, guided by Maya and the wisdom of the natural world. Together, they explored the mysteries of the land and the secrets of their people's ancient traditions. As they walked, the animals watched, and the land whispered its secrets in their ears. The wind carried the whispers of the past, and the future beckoned with promise. Years passed, and Akira grew into a strong and wise young woman. She became a skilled healer, using her knowledge of plants and animals to help her people. She also became a leader, guiding her community with compassion and wisdom. One day, a great drought struck the land, and the crops began to wither and die. The people were worried, and they didn't know what to do. Akira called upon the wisdom of the animals and the spirits of the land. She listened to their whispers, and she knew what she had to do. She led her people on a journey to a sacred place, a hidden spring deep in the heart of the forest. The spring was guarded by ancient trees and a great stone serpent. Akira approached the serpent, and she spoke to it in a voice that was barely above a whisper. "We come seeking help," she said. "Our crops are dying, and our people are hungry." The serpent looked at her with eyes that were ancient and wise. "I will help you," it said. "But you must first help me." Akira nodded, and the serpent told her what she had to do. She and her people worked tirelessly, restoring the balance of nature and healing the wounds of the land. And then, the rains came, and the crops began to grow again. The people rejoiced, and they knew that Akira had saved them. As the rains continued to fall, Akira felt a deep sense of connection to the land and its spirits. She knew that she had been chosen for a greater purpose, one that went beyond her own community. One night, under the light of a full moon, Akira received a vision. She saw herself standing at the center of a great web, connected to all living things. She saw the threads of life that bound her to the animals, the plants, and the very earth itself. And then, she heard a voice, whispering in her ear. "Akira, you have been chosen to be a guardian of the balance. You must use your gifts to heal the wounds of the world." Akira knew that she had to embark on a great journey, one that would take her to the farthest reaches of the land. She set out, accompanied by a small group of trusted friends, including a wise old badger named Kanak. Together, they travel to the sacred places of the land, seeking out the ancient wisdom of the spirits. They encountered many challenges along the way, but Akira's connection to the natural world and its creatures guided her through. As they journeyed, Akira discovered that she had the power to communicate with all living things. She spoke with the trees, the rivers, and the animals, and they shared their wisdom with her. And then, after many moons, Akira and her companions reached the heart of the land, a place of great power and beauty. There, they found the source of the imbalance that threatened the world. At the heart of the land, Akira and her companions found a great crystal, its facets reflecting the light of the setting sun. But the crystal was darkened, its beauty marred by a shadow that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. Akira knew that this was the source of the imbalance, a place where the natural world had been disrupted by human greed and neglect. She reached out a hand, touching the crystal with a sense of reverence. As she did, the shadow began to stir, taking on a life of its own. It coalesced into a figure, tall and gaunt, with eyes that burned with an inner fire. "Who are you?" Akira demanded, standing tall despite the fear that threatened to overwhelm her. "I am the spirit of the land," the figure replied, its voice like a sigh on the wind. "And I have been wounded by the actions of your people." Akira felt a surge of sorrow, knowing that her people had indeed harmed the land. But she also knew that they had the power to heal. "We come to make amends," she said, her voice filled with conviction. "We will work to restore the balance, to heal the wounds that we have inflicted." The spirit regarded her for a moment, then nodded its head. "I will accept your offer," it said. "But the healing will not be easy. It will require sacrifice and dedication." Akira steeled herself, knowing that the journey ahead would be difficult. But she was ready, for she knew that the fate of the world depended on it. Akira and her companions spent many moons working to heal the wounds of the land. They used their knowledge of the natural world to restore the balance, planting trees, cleaning the rivers, and helping the animals to thrive. As they worked, the spirit of the land watched over them, guiding them and offering its wisdom. Slowly but surely, the land began to heal, and the balance was restored. But just as they were nearing the end of their journey, a new challenge arose. A great darkness appeared on the horizon, threatening to undo all that they had accomplished. "What is this?" Akira asked the spirit of the land, feeling a sense of fear and uncertainty. "It is the shadow of humanity's greed and neglect," the spirit replied. "It is a manifestation of the harm that has been done to the world." Akira knew that she had to act, to find a way to defeat the darkness and save the land. She gathered her companions and together they set out to face the shadow. As they approached, the darkness grew thicker, making it hard to see or breathe. But Akira and her companions pressed on, using their connection to the natural world to guide them. And then, just as they were about to give up hope, they saw a light in the distance. It was a small flame, flickering in the darkness, but it gave them the strength to keep going. Akira and her companions approached the light, and as they did, they saw that it was a small fire burning in a circle of stones. An old woman sat beside it, her eyes shining with wisdom. "Welcome, Akira," she said. "I have been waiting for you. My name is Grey Wolf, and I am the keeper of the ancient knowledge." Akira felt a sense of reverence wash over her. She knew that her people had a deep understanding of the natural world and the spirits that inhabited it. Grey Wolf gestured to the fire. "This is the sacred fire," she said. "It burns with the power of the ancestors and the land. It will guide us on our journey." Akira and her companions sat down beside the fire, feeling its warmth and energy. Grey Wolf began to sing a traditional song, calling upon the spirits to aid them. As she sang, the darkness began to recede, pushed back by the power of the fire and the ancestors. Akira felt a sense of hope and determination rising within her. "We must use the power of the land and the ancestors to defeat the darkness," Grey Wolf said, her eyes shining with conviction. "We must call upon the spirits of the animals, the plants, and the elements to aid us." Akira nodded, knowing that this was the way of her people. She called upon the spirits of the eagle, the bear, and the buffalo, asking for their guidance and strength. And then, with the power of the land and the ancestors behind them, they faced the darkness, ready to do battle. The battle between light and darkness raged on, with Akira and her companions using all their knowledge and skills to push back the shadow. Grey Wolf's singing grew louder, calling upon the spirits to aid them. Slowly but surely, the light began to gain ground. The darkness recoiled, its power waning as the ancestors and the land itself rose up to defend their territory. Akira felt a surge of energy and hope. She knew that they were winning, that the light would ultimately triumph. And then, in a burst of radiance, the darkness dissipated, banished by the combined power of the people, the land, and the ancestors. The light shone bright, illuminating the beauty of the natural world. Akira and her companions cheered, knowing that they had saved their home. Grey Wolf smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "The light has won," she said. "The balance is restored. The land is healed." As they celebrated, the animals returned, the plants bloomed, and the rivers ran clear. The people rejoiced, knowing that their way of life was preserved. Akira knew that she had found her true purpose, to protect the land, the ancestors, and the traditions of her people. She vowed to continue the fight, to always stand for the light. And so, the story of Akira, the young warrior, became a legend, told and retold around the fires, inspiring future generations to defend the land and the balance of nature. Years passed, and Akira became a respected leader among her people. She continued to defend the land and the balance of nature, using her knowledge and skills to maintain harmony. One day, a young girl approached Akira, seeking guidance. "I have been having visions," the girl said. "Visions of a great change coming to our land." Akira listened, recognizing the same spark of destiny that had driven her own journey. "Tell me more," she said. The girl shared her visions, and Akira knew that the time had come to pass on her knowledge and responsibilities. "You are the chosen one," Akira said. "You must prepare to face the challenges ahead." And so, Akira began to mentor the young girl, teaching her the ways of the people, the secrets of the natural world, and the importance of defending the balance. As the girl grew in wisdom and power, Akira knew that her own time on this earth was coming to an end. She called upon the ancestors, seeking their guidance. "Akira, your work is done," they said. "You have protected the land and our people. Now, it is time to join us in the spirit world." Akira smiled, knowing that her legacy would live on through the young girl. She passed on her wisdom, her power, and her responsibilities, and then she departed, joining the ancestors in the spirit world. The young girl, now a powerful leader, continued Akira's work, defending the land and the balance of nature. And so, the story of Akira, the warrior, became a legend, inspiring future generations to protect the land and their way of life.